Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I'm at my desk. I've been here since about 7 a.m. and it's now 9:10 in the morning. And there are some potential. So I'm at home. I'm feeling very relaxed, hence the t-shirt and casual wear. And I'm having a look at the charts, and there might be a couple of potential trades set up. So I want to walk you through those. So I'm looking at EuroCAD. Now, I have a daily chart on the right hand side. I have a 4-hour chart in the middle, 1 hour bottom left, and then I go to 30 minutes and then down to 15 minutes. So I've sliced up my time from 15 minutes all the way up to the daily. I do want to mention here that the daily chart is actually very choppy, very messy. So ordinarily, as a general rule, I would just say don't even look at this chart, don't even take it into consideration. So because of that general volatility, there's no real, one side is not really in control, and therefore the market can change its mind on a frequent basis. But what I do like is I like to look at the 30-minute time frame, the 1 hour. 4 hours a little bit overextended, meaning that it has moved a long way from the moving averages. All right, so it tends to should not normally be doing that. So I'm going to have a look here at the 15 minutes, and what I'm looking for here is, as we've spoken about, as I've spoken about in previous videos, is I'm really looking for price to kind of come back to connect with this level. All right, so that's what I'm looking for. I want price to kind of potentially come back into this area, and that there might ultimately then be an entry opportunity using our strategy in this area, looking to go short. Now, again, it's not a gamble. There is a reasonable probability of it doing this. As I said, the daily is a bit choppy, so it can also work against me. In this case, this is a slightly higher risk because usually I'd be picking charts where the daily is going in the same direction. So, but I'm going to be monitoring that in this area, and I'm going to be looking for that to go short, setting up. So I'll be sitting in front of my desk for the next hour at least, and then looking to see if there's a setup. And if it goes, I'm looking to, my goal is ideally a 3-to-1, meaning if I risk 1%, that it will make me approximately 3% potential reward for the 1% I risk. So I'll be looking for a decent move down. So that is one on my list. Now, next up is gold and silver. So gold and silver have a similar type of opportunity, but in the opposite direction. So here we go. I've got a nice little flat level breakout. And ideally for me, I'd like to see price pull back into the moving averages and provide me with a buy opportunity in this area. So that's one thing that looks pretty good. I'll be looking at that as well. And then finally onto oils today. So I've looked at currencies, I'm looking at oils as well. You can see here on the daily, overall, it has been trending very nicely, but it is struggling a little bit with this key level. But it has broken through the level on the lower time frame. So when you zoom in, you can see it has managed to break through that level. And so what I'm looking for here is almost certainly what is close to setting up in this area is a potential buy opportunity as price comes back down to test this level. Price often has this habit of breaking through a level and then coming back and testing if it can get back below the level. So if it comes down here and produces a nice little green candle for me, I may then place my entry and my stop loss on either side of that candle and look for the market to the subsequent candlestick to take me into that trend if it continues upwards. So in this particular case, my expectation is that crude and gold will continue to head higher, whereas my other example, which was euro yen, is potentially, I beg your pardon, EuroCAD is potentially going to head lower. So that's what I'm going to be looking out for over the next 30 to 45 minutes, and then I'll update the video at that time. Okay, so it's a little bit later. I'm just mentioning here EuroCAD is currently printing this bearish candle. So this might then be my entry with my stop loss above the high of that flat level and my entry below the low. So I've got about 10 minutes before the candle closes. I'll keep an eye on that. I might even place my entry order now below the low of this candle. So let's have a look. Okay, so I just wanted to go ahead and just put myself into this trade. So I've added myself in, so I'm in that trade now. And let's have a quick look at the other ones I was looking at. So there was gold, which is potentially still, let's pull back into the moving averages. I have preferred for it to test this level as support. That's always a bonus in my mind, but keeping an eye on that one. Potentially silver has already gone off. I did miss that entry, that's fine. And crude. crude, I'm actually in as well. Both there's actually a couple of crudes I'm in. Price pulled back, produced that nice little bullish candle, and is now in profit. In fact, I've already hit my 1-to-1, which means I've taken some profit off the table. And so again, I want you to just see here that the principal direction on multiple time frames is very much to the upside. Price broke through a nice little level of resistance and came back and produced that nice little bullish candle near the moving averages, and has already gone on. So I've already banked profit on that one, and I took West Texas as well. And so all of that looking really nice. And those have all happened around about the same time, which is not always the case. They usually can happen at completely different times, but this is convenient for me. So that let's go and have a look at, again, let's go look at EuroCAD. And yep, so that one I'll pause again, and we'll come back and see how, what I'll really do is probably just see how when I get to 1-to-1, so I can update you on that, and then again once the trade is closed out. Okay, so it's now 12 minutes past 10. It's basically an hour later from when I was kind of at my desk, but you can see here the EuroCAD position has triggered and is nicely unfolding. I haven't hit my 1-to-1 yet, but so far I'm very happy with it. Then moving on to gold. Gold is now in the correct area to set up a bullish candle. So this is much more what I'm looking for. And so that is going to be my target candle at this point in time. That's what I'm waiting for. I've got 2 minutes for it to close, and then I'll place the order on that. And crude oil has gone on and is now hit 2-to-1 on both of those trades. So that's really, really nice. Both of those looking really good. And this is the strategy, obviously, that I'm covering with you. So this is just employing that really nice trend based plus the moving averages in the correct order, and a really nice pullback with that nice little bullish candle in an uptrend. So these are almost picture perfect. Now this, I should emphasize that this is not the kind of thing that happens every day. This is unusual for me to find all these trades conveniently happening all within half an hour or an hour of each other. Usually there might just be one trade. Or there might be, I might have the same number of trades, but they'll be spread out throughout maybe a 4 to 6 hour period where they will set up and then play out. So there we go. So the beauty of this is that no matter what happens with, because I've already made profit on these trades, we'll see how gold goes. But no matter what happens with the gold trade, and no matter what happens with the EuroCAD trade, I'm still going to be up for the day. So, and I don't have to do anything more after this, and that's not a brag. If there are other setups, I will take them, but the pressure is off for me to have to take other trades. So that's good. So basically I'll catch up again when I have an outcome on EuroCAD and when I have an outcome on gold, and then we'll take it from there. Okay, so I just wanted to, I've now added in where my entries were, and so you can see visually at least where I'm kind of progressing. So I haven't hit my 1-to-1 yet on EuroCAD to the downside. I haven't hit that yet, very close to that. All right, so we'll see how that goes. Then having a look at gold. I'm still triggered into the trade. It was quite a large candle. It's not ideal. The size of the little indecision red spinning top candle to the right of that would have been ideal. But I'm now sort of edging away into profit on that one. So you can see where my first target is and my second target. And crude on in both cases, you can see I've actually entered in on either side of the small green candle and have hit my first target and hopefully my second target as well. So if you look here a little bit on the daily, next really significant level is quite a long way away. If I zoom out here to give you a sense of that. However, having said that, of course, we're only on the 15-minute time frame, so it looks like a very, very, very long way away, but we're really not in the clear. So that looks as though there's lots of potential profit on it. That isn't really the case here. The goal for me here is 2-to-1 or 3-to-1 on every trade I take, because I'm doing this to earn a living. So the goal is to just scoop money out of the markets as we go. I've been doing it long enough that it's very rare that I feel that I missed out on potential profits. So there we go. So it's not. So I know that the way I'm doing it is definitely suitable for trading for a living, so to speak. All right. So I'm gonna pause again and come back and see how the market has progressed on these trades. Cool, so what I wanted to show you here is that on EuroCAD has actually now produced a lower swing high, which is now the perfect opportunity for me to move my stop loss a bit further down. In fact, it'll be very close to my entry, which means the trade, not only have I banked some profit already, but I can then move my stop loss to break even, and then I've guaranteed I've locked in some profit. So that looks really good. Gold. is struggling. It's just got a lot of resistance between 1790 and 1800. This whole area is really, if you look at it on the daily, is a potential, historically, is a turning area. So this one's going to be a little bit tougher, but certainly I think once I hit my 1-to-1, I'll be able to move my stop loss just under this if I get another higher low. So what I want you to take away from this, that I'm showing you this, is that the rational, logical, sensible approach to trading. Yes, granted, my ability to read price action will potentially feel to be a bit advanced, but that comes in time. The key thing is that I picked trending markets, and that at that point I'm then, obviously I have confidence because I've done this literally thousands of times, but yep, that's it. And then let's have a look at crude oil. So crude oil has pulled back. I've hit my 1-to-1, so I'm at break even, ironically, because I was saying that no matter what happens, I'm kind of going to be up for the day. But let's have a look and see if we do get a bullish candle here and carry on. I could potentially consider adding in, scaling in. In other words, if I get another setup here, because the first trade is now protected, I could consider doing that. But ideally, I'd like to see this go on and hit 2-to-1 or 3-to-1 on both of the oil trades. All right, so it's now 11:45 in the day, and this is kind of where I stand on this. So look at EuroCAD. EuroCAD has beautifully gone on, hit 2-to-1 so far, potentially will give me another re-entry here, and I'm happy for it to continue on downwards. So I've hit 2-to-1, very happy, profit off the table. That's absolutely a nice win for me. Gold, no. So gold, we've just had news come out. So that although this solidly triggered me, and this is now effectively a loss. So this is a losing trade today. And actually, I was principally confident that in what we have. I know that this whole area is a potential rejection area, but I was pretty confident that we were going to head on and connect with 1800 today, or towards at least even 1790. So I'm not off gold entirely. It may set up later today, it may set up tomorrow, and if that happens, I'll record that trade as well. So that's a losing trade, and oils beautifully have actually, although they have reversed, they haven't hit my stop loss yet. Let's just have a look. Was crude on that one? So crude hasn't hit my stop loss yet either, but it's not a good sign. Effectively, these trades are break even. So I'm down on gold. Up nicely on Euro Aussie, and I'm break even on oil. So the lesson to take away from this today is actually all of them had relatively similar potential in terms of profit and outcome, but and there's been twists and turns, kind of one started off slow and then went on and hit lots of profit, the other started off fast and then stalled and then died. So some interesting twists and turns, and again, that isn't always something that you can tell at the start of the trade setup. So that's really it. So I'm up for the day so far. I'll keep an eye out once the US comes online. If there's another session a bit later, I'll record that if I see any good opportunities. But that was pretty much it for 4 not very stressful trades, and I'm up a little bit for the day, which is absolutely fine. But I wanted you to see how they could start out with the same potential, and then your outcomes could vary. They could all have been profitable, but not today. And I think that's perfectly acceptable to show you that. I think this was a realistic sample of outcomes. Thanks.